Yeah, and I mean, you can see this clearly when I don't know if any of you guys like take a look at Christian Muslim debates, but
Yeah.
the people that the Christians go after are the Sunnis
Yeah.
because they know the entire concept of Tawheed and all of that is so like diluted.
Bro, like the Christians, they've been like, bro, they just go to Buhari and
No.
Muslim, like that's it. Like,
You know,
Brother, they curse Aisha more than us. I swear to God.
I know.
wallahi, that's so true.
The other day,
That's-
I stumbled on this live, bro, and this guy was cursing Aisha. I'm sorry, guys. He was cursing Aisha so hard, and I was like, "Oh my God, this guy's Christian, bro." I was like,
Yes,
"Okay, hey,
man.
bro, I'm a
Bro.
fan of you."
The best thing I've seen is, there was a Christian debating Shias once, and he didn't know they were Shias, what you call it. So he's debating. Another Christian jumps online and goes to the Christian, yo, they're Shias, we don't debate these guys. And he takes him away,
Oh wow.
what you call it. Because they know they can't debate us.
I had a Christian try to debate one of my guests once, and he brought Sunni hadiths, and we said, we don't follow those hadiths, those are Sunnis. He goes, oh, I'm going by these. He goes, y'all must be Shia. Shias only make 10 to 50% of the Muslim population, so I'm not going to bring Shia hadiths. I'm only bringing Sunni. I was like, how are we supposed to argue with you over a Sunni belief with hadiths when we don't follow those?
Yeah, man. You guys know the what's his name? I forgot what his account is called, but he's a blonde guy, Christian. He always debates
Yeah.
Muslim. Yeah. Basically, this one time I was on his live. You know how he starts off his debates? He doesn't give you a point. He straight away asks you, "Are you Sunni or Shia?" That's how he starts off.
Bro, they all do.
Well, like I
It makes
went
no
on the
sense.
live. They were having a live one time. Well, like, and they were grilling the Sunnis. They brought like narrations from their books that the prophets was poisoned and killed from their own
Yeah.
books. Well, like, and like they kept waffling and waffling and waffling and waffling, like. Because there's no way out. Like the guy brought like two narrations, I think from Bukhari or something, and he kept saying, "Look, it says the prophet was poisoned. Like, why are you trying to defend it?"
Yeah, bro, they can't, innit? They can't defend it.
You know, because when you bring Bukhari and Muslim, right, it's like they have no say because you have to believe everything is. You know, yesterday I was having a discussion on Instagram with this guy, like we were talking about mut'a and stuff, right? This guy goes like, "Oh, like mut'a was," and I go like, "Okay, let me bring up a narration." So I brought two narrations where it says Omar forbade it. This guy kept waffling, and all of a sudden he goes like, "Well, if you're gonna bring up our books, I'm also gonna bring up your books. Oh, it says, you cannot marry a black person in your books." I'm like, "Oh, there we go again."
Bro, the amount of times I've seen that excuse
I know.
being brought up.
Yo, Amar, you remember that live once
Yeah,
where this guy come up and he goes, "How are you black and a Shia?"
bro.
Oh my God, that was such a stupid question.
Mariam, there's a question for you from Sister Noor that asks, what drove you towards Islam?
I did. I grabbed a sword and followed her. Yeah.
So I researched some other religions. So my religion beforehand with Catholicism. I never really believed in Catholicism, but I believed that there was a God. Because Catholics believe in like the Holy Trinity. I questioned about that. I was told I was not allowed to question the scripture or our beliefs. I asked other questions about the scriptures. Those were the same answer. They would get angry, tell me I was not allowed to question the scripture or our faith. That's what God wrote. That's what we have. So I would even ask questions such as like, well, why is there like 70 different versions of the Bible? None of them match. It's been like added on, taken away. So Islam was the last one I looked into because my family has a real negative viewpoint on Muslims. So I felt like it was right because of the answers I was getting. It was like real clear and direct. I wasn't turned away. Wasn't told I wasn't allowed to ask questions. So I became Muslim. At first, I didn't tell my family. I covered in private. Then, after a month or so, I told my family, and now my dad like doesn't even talk to me, nor does my uncle.
Wow, subhanallah. May Allah make it easy for you, sister. Subhanallah.
That actually brings up a very interesting point that I want to make, and like as a follow-up to that. I think within the Muslim community, in general, Shias, Sunnis, whatever, there's a huge emphasis on the fact that you're also not supposed to question anything, right? When in fact, it's actually pretty healthy to ask questions, to ask why, God exists, or how does God exist, or if God even exists. Because if you look at the Shahada itself, the first half of the Shahada actually essentially insinuates that you have to go through some sort of kufr. So if you say ashhadu anna la ilaha and stop there, it means that I believe that there's no God, right?
Yeah.
But then Islam continues and says illallah. So in a sense, it kind of insinuates that you do need to question that there is no God, and then come to the conclusion that there's no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is healthy, and I think it's just, personally from my experience and the stuff that I've seen, there's a huge emphasis on, no, you're not allowed to talk about this, no, you're not allowed to talk about that. And they just force feed it to their kids when it shouldn't be that way.
So when my dad and I actually argued about me reverting to Islam, I told him at least we don't protect pedos, and he got so mad at me. He got so mad at me. He was like, "We don't do that." I said, "You know how many times a Catholic priest have been arrested for doing things to children?" I was like, "That's not right."